Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mylio Photos Coffee Break. My name is Angela Andrew, and today we're going to be talking about QuickCollections and how they can help you group together specific things in your library, making things easier to find and access quickly. This is part of a 2-week series, so this is going to be building towards what we're doing next week, which is creating a family history space for collaboration with other people that you're working on for family history projects. But in order to get there, you need to have a good understanding of what a QuickCollection is and how to use it. So that's what we're going to dive into today. So let me go ahead and share my screen. We'll get started. So today, talking about QuickCollections, the first question is, what is a QuickCollection? Well, simply put, it is a grouping, a saved grouping that you can access over and over of quick filters. So to get to your quick filters, you're going to open up the left sidebar here. And these here are your quick filters. So at any time you can go into a quick filter, you can click on it, you can view it, you can view many of them together. And if you ever want to have a group of quick filters that you save to get to over and over, that's a quick collection. And those are accessed up here by this little icon. And there's a bunch of quick collections that are built into Mylio Photos, and you can create your own custom quick collections. Now, these are used for a variety of purposes in Mylio, one of which is just for yourself. You can use them like smart albums. So a lot of other programs out there that have albums that you can create that are dynamically updated. So let's say you wanted to create an album that is for a specific date range or for a specific purpose. That's what a quick collection does. It's basically a smart album that you can get to over and over. They're also used to create custom sync policy presets. So if you have a specific device that you want only certain images or certain quality of images to sync to, you can do that here with QuickCollections. It also powers the spaces function, which we're going to talk more about next week. So, and as you go in and you set these different things up, different types of quick filters work for different things. Now, as you make a quick collection just for yourself to make that hypothetical smart album, you can use any combination of the quick filters that you want to use. If you're wanting to do it for a sync policy preset, you're limited to being able to use the ones here by date, by category, by folder, and by file. So these are the ones that you can use for sync policy presets. If you're wanting to do things for spaces, spaces are much more limited in how they're set up. Those are powered by categories. So when you go through and you make your different quick collections, you'll want to think about what those future uses might be. If you want to use them for sync, make sure you're using those, your files, your folders, your categories, and dates. And if you're wanting to use them to create a space, make sure you limit them to just categories. If you're wanting to create a smart album, use any combination that you want. A couple of other quick filters that we have coming soon, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a preview, is we're going to have by keywords and by places coming soon. So some of you might have noticed in this most recent release, if you go over here to the map tab and you click on the navigation, you have your different locations here listed on the left. These are going to very soon be integrated into quick filters that you can use to power some of your quick collections as well. So that's just a little preview of some of the things we have coming soon. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the ways you can use quick collections for your own library. Well, the first thing you want to do is explore some of the built-in quick collections. So I'm going to click on this icon and we can take a look at some of these. Now, some of these you might not recognize because they are custom to my library, which I'll show you here in a minute, but many of these are already built in. So for instance, if you want to find things that you need to organize, go ahead and click on that and you'll see that it applies these filters. So that's anything within the last 90 days, anything that has no star rating and has no flag. So those are things that you might want to go through and do a little bit of organization with. You also have things like review for cleanup. So let's go ahead and click on those. Those are going to be things that have a -1 flag, which means a reject flag. You can see I've got several here that I've marked as rejects, or it has a rating of 1 or 2. So these are things that you've already gone through and made some markings on that maybe they're not the greatest images. So when you click into this quick collection, these are things that you might want to go through and delete. You don't have to, you can leave them there. But these are just suggestions for things that you might want to clean up in your library. You also have quick collections like happy people. And this is going to find people in your library with eyes open and smiling and let you take a look at all of those images. So these are just some of the ways that you can use them, and they're meant to be not only helpful, but to give you an idea of the way you can group these different quick filters into your own custom quick collections. So I'm going to go ahead and clear out these filters and give you a few suggestions of ways that I am using these in my own library. So the first one here is I want to make a quick collection of images that need to be keyworded. So I don't like to keyword everything in my library. It's a very tedious task. It takes a lot of time. I only want to add keywords to my best images. These are ones that I've already gone through and edited. I've already marked them as maybe a 4 or 5 star, or they have a pick flag. Ones that are important to me that I'm likely to say share on social media or email to friends and family, or even create a shared album here in Mylio. So it's information that I want to travel with those images, and I want to add a little bit of extra context. So the way I want to do that is to do all of my images that have pick flags and that have 4 and 5 star ratings and that do not already have keywords. So let's do that. So the way to do a lot of this is by using these custom quick collections. So like I said, keyword is coming soon, but for right now, the way we do this is we type in a custom query. So to find images that have keywords, you're going to type in keyword, semicolon, space, asterisk. The asterisk is what we call a wildcard, meaning that it can be any value. So I'm going to go ahead and pin that really quick, and you'll see that that pops that up here. And this is going to show me all of my images that already have keywords. I can go ahead and invert this, so I can just right click on this and say exclude, and that's going to show me all of my pictures that do not have keywords. Now, like I said, I only want to keyword my best images, so I want to filter this down a little bit further and only add keywords to my images that either have a pick flag or a 4 or 5 star rating. Now, if you go up here to by rating, label, and flag, right now, if you just click 4 and 5 stars, that'll limit it to the 4 and 5 stars. But if you also add the pick flag, that is going into Mylio as an and, meaning that it's going to say it has to have 4 and 5 stars and a pick flag instead of an or. I want either or. So I've created a custom option for this. And again, I'm going to go down here, and that's going to be this query right here. Flagged semicolon space 1 or rating parentheses 4 comma 5. And that's going to give me the exact search that I want. And again, if you only use stars, feel free to use this particular option up here. You can just do your 4 and 5 stars, and that's going to get you very, very close. But if you want to include the pick flags in there, I'm going to go ahead and take those off. And again, go down here and use my custom query that I built. So now I'm showing things that have either a pick flag, which is the flagged 1, or a rating, which is at 4 or 5, and they do not have keywords. And so these are some of my best images that I'm probably going to want to share that maybe I need to go in and add some keywords to so that information travels with the images. So now that I've created this particular query, what I'm going to do is save it as a custom quick collection. So I'm going to click on quick collections and say save as new quick collection and just call this to keyword. Maybe if I could spell that would help. So to keyword and click save. And so now anytime I want to get back to this particular quick collection, let's say I'm ready to do a little bit of work on this, whether I'm on my phone or my tablet sitting watching TV, or I'm here at my computer, I can simply go into my quick collections. Let me go ahead and clear this out here real quick and go into the quick collections and go down to keyword, and that's going to pop that back in there. You'll notice because I am in the public space, it also added anything that is not private. So that's something good to know, that if you're in a space, when you create a quick collection, that will automatically be added to the image. If I was in my everything space when I created the quick collection, this would not be there. So that is one example. Let's go ahead and do another one that you might find useful. And that for me is photos that need copyright. So again, we don't have a specific quick filter over here on the side for copyright. And that's where using some of these custom ones can come in really handy. Now, if you're wondering where I'm coming up with these search terms, let me go ahead and switch to a slightly different view here. And I'm going to go up to my help window and go to the how-to guide. So this is the Mylio Photos manual for those of you who aren't familiar. And if you scroll down to the bottom, we have a very lengthy appendix. And down here, we have this one called Custom Search and Filter Expressions. So if you want to get really technical and really expand the search and filter capability of Mylio Photos, this article is going to give you a ton of information. And make sure you go down and you go to this explicit search terms and you expand this. And this is going to give you a lot of different things that you can use to find specific things in your library. And you can enter those here under by custom, or you can even enter them into dynamic search. Totally up to you, but they really expand the functionality of these search tools. So going back to finding things that don't have copyright, I created a custom filter here. So it's copyright, semicolon, space, asterisk. Again, it's that wildcard. So we're saying, let's go ahead and find everything that does have copyright. So I'm going to go ahead and pin that. And again, I'm going to go up here to the top, right click on that and say exclude. So anything that I have not added copyright information to is now listed here. And I can then open up my info panel on the right and go to the info, click on an image, or I can even select all if I know all of these are my images that I created. And I can go down to my IPTC section. Let's go ahead and scroll. There's my IPTC. And I can go ahead and enter in my copyright information into these fields, or simply click apply the IPTC card, and my saved IPTC information will get loaded into all of these images. It's a really great way to make sure that you're adding that information that you want to travel with your images as you share them with friends and family. So let's save this again as a new QuickCollection. I'm going to go here to my QuickCollections, say save as new QuickCollections, and say needs copyright, and choose save. So let's go ahead and do a couple of others here. And I want to find specific photos from specific cameras that don't have GPS information. So as most of you know, your phones, your cell phones that you're using to take pictures, unless you've gone in and specifically disabled it, those are saving GPS information, location information to your photos automatically. But if you're using a big camera like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, while some of them do have GPS trackers built into them, many of them do not. And the ones that do, frankly, they chew up battery like crazy. So I have always turned it off. So my pictures that come out of my big camera do not have that information. And I'm fine with going in and adding it selectively later. So what I'd like to do is find all of the pictures from my Canon cameras that do not have GPS information. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. I'm going to start here by going to the by camera and lens, and I can go by camera, and I can just blanket choose my Canon camera. So I've had several over the years. This selects all of them, or I can drill this down and find specific models of cameras. And let's say I only want to work with right now all the pictures from my Canon R6. So we've gone ahead and pinned that. So this is only showing pictures from my Canon. I'm going to go ahead and collapse that down. And again, I'm going to go down here again to by custom. And here is my filter for finding things that do not have GPS information. It's GPS tagged, semicolon, space, no. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And now I've got all of my pictures that do not have GPS information from my Canon R6 showing on the screen. So this can be a to-do list for you to go through and add that information so you can quickly find things via the map. So from here, what again I can do is go to my QuickCollection, say save as do QuickCollection, and Canon R6 needs GPS, and go ahead and choose save. And now anytime I want to, I can go back to this QuickCollection and work through these. And as I update these things, as I add information to these files, it's no longer going to be listed in this QuickCollection. So it dynamically updates as you go through. So there's a ton of different ways that you can use these. Another one I've seen people do is to use these for workflows. So a lot of people will use these color labels to indicate different phases of their workflow. So you might have red for your raw files that need to be culled. You might have yellow for the pictures that you've chosen to edit but need to be edited. Green might be edited but not yet shared. Blue might be ready to share, needs metadata, and purple might be complete. So you can make your own designation of what these different labels mean, create filters for them, even apply those different cameras. You can even apply different date ranges. And then these are going to be able to be filtered. You can save them as quick collections so you can easily find different areas of your workflow. So those are just some of the ways you can use this. And what we're going to talk about next week is how you can use these quick collections, specifically by using the by category section to create a family history workspace. And these can then be used if you're sharing your account with different people, different close trusted collaborators, to where you can have a category that you're only sharing with them, that's all they see. And so you can collaborate and work on those pictures together. So quick collections are incredibly powerful, a lot of different uses. I hope this has given you some ideas of how you can use them in your library to make your life a little bit easier. So let me go ahead and I'm going to pull up the chat here and let's see what we have by way of questions. So it looks like Lori's been sharing some links with you guys, which is wonderful. Thank you so much, Lori. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right. Lynn's asking if there's a place to see the recordings of coffee breaks. For those of you who are looking for that, again, you can go up here to the help menu. Actually, let me switch back to a different view here. So you go here to help and you can go to join our community, and that's going to go ahead and launch your browser. And just go here to, if you scroll down to, where do we have them here? Event replays and coffee breaks. And this is where you can see all of our past coffee breaks that we've done. So if you want to go back and watch any of those, you're absolutely welcome to. All right, let's see what else we have here. So there we
Do you have
go.
any specific questions?
No, I don't see any.
Yeah.
If anybody has questions, feel free to put them into the chat, or at this point, you can go ahead and unmute, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have about quick collections, quick filters, Mylio in general, or even photography in general. This is our time for that. We usually have open Q&A also on Tuesdays, which you're also welcome to join. You can find that in the events calendar in the community as well.
Angela, I got a quick question.
Sure, go for it.
If I put a folder into my Mylio collection where I have a vault, does it automatically back up that new folder? And is that the best way to do it?
Yes. So any folder that you add to Mylio Photos, let me go here and just jump to my folders view. And I'm going to turn off my filters so we can see all of my folders. All of these folders are backing up to all of my vaults. So if I go over here to the right and to my sync panel, you'll see this particular little badge here. This indicates that that device is a vault. And when you have a vault, every piece of media that you've added to Mylio Photos, it doesn't matter what drive it's on, whether it's coming from your phone, an external drive, your internal drive on the computer, doesn't matter. Once Mylio is aware of that, those all get saved to your vault. So that's why we recommend having at least 2 vaults set up, because that gives you a lot of great protection of those images. It consolidates them into one place. And then if one of your vault drives dies, you have a secondary vault that's there with everything. And in addition to all of your original quality folders, your vault also holds your thumbnails and optimized images. It holds your catalog. It holds all of your metadata. So a vault holds everything. So they're a really, really great thing. And they happen automatically. So once you add a device as a vault, Mylio will automatically synchronize those images to the vault.
So is it a good procedure to put it to the original one where your original folders were? Or does it matter what vault you put it in?
So your vaults are going to automatically synchronize. You don't have to put anything into a vault. What you would do is you would just go up here to the add media, and you add media accessible from this device. Let's say it's a folder that you want to link. You would go to, let's say, your pictures folder, pick a folder here, and you just say open. Mylio will then be aware of that folder, and anything that's in this folder will then get backed up to my vaults automatically. I don't have to put anything there in the file system. Mylio takes care of that for you.
Oh, okay. So I don't have to move a folder into my vault. I can just link it.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Lori with an I put a couple questions underneath Lynn's comments.
Oh, let's take a look here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. When in the people view, is the number in untagged, is that the number of faces or images? That's going to be the number of faces. So if you have a picture that has 10 faces in it, that's going to count as 10 untagged people for the one image. So that's that. When face tagging and clicking ignore, is there a way to keep them from coming up over and over? Once you click ignore, they should not be coming up again. It could be that that picture is a duplicate. Sometimes that happens. If you're sure that it's exact same image, so the exact same file name coming from the exact same folder, and it keeps popping up even though you've said ignore, that's something I would contact support about because something is not working the way it should be there. All right. Jan asked how to deal with unsupported photos. So Jan, can you elaborate what kind of unsupported photos are we referring to? Because I think I sent you a link in the community as well. Just need to know a little bit more about what you're finding. So there's two different types of unsupported files that Mylio may encounter. There's going to be the ones that it can sync, but it can't display, and then ones that it can't sync. So can you tell me what it is that you're finding? Feel free to unmute Jan and let me know. All right. Well, let me just give like kind of a brief answer here. If you have photos that are coming up and showing, so you're seeing like a black box in Mylio, but they're not displaying the actual image, that file type is not supported, but it can be synced by Mylio. So Mylio is aware of it. It's going to back it up to your vaults, but it can't display it. So there's certain file types out there, usually older image files that maybe Mylio just does not have the algorithms to decode. What you can do with those images is you can use the Adobe DNG converter. It's a free tool. Convert those to a DNG, and then Mylio should be able to read them. But typically it means you're going to need to convert those files into something that Mylio can read for it to be able to be displayed. Now, if it's a file that Mylio cannot read, what you're going to want to do is move that outside of the folder that Mylio is aware of. And that's going to save you from, if you ever get to a point, let's say you want to delete that folder in Mylio because you've moved all the other images out of there, you want to check to make sure that there's still some files there that maybe Mylio can't see or read, and make sure those are moved elsewhere on your drive. So it just depends on what type of files you're working with. But most likely what you're seeing are the little black boxes and it's saying it's unsupported. It just means that Mylio can't decode that file and you're going to need to convert it into a file type that Mylio can read. Some resources to look at, if you go up to the help menu, let me again switch views here, go here to help and go to the how-to guide. If you take a look again in that appendix, you go ahead and scroll down here. There is a section here for supported file types and cameras. And that's going to tell you kind of in general what types of files are supported. You can also take a look here at different cameras that are specifically supported and specific file types. And there are a bunch of them that are supported. So if you're coming across a black box that says it's unsupported and that file type is in this list, that's something you're going to want to reach out to support about, because while that means it should be supported, but something is going wrong. And again, working with an unsupported file type, there's the two types that Mylio can see and will synchronize, but you can't actually view it in Mylio, and then ones that cannot be imported at all. And there is a link here to the DNG converter. You may also encounter things that are corrupt files. These are files that are somehow damaged. They might have been damaged before they came to Mylio, and therefore Mylio can't read them. So that's something else to take a look at. So you can also try opening them in a different application on your computer. If the other application can open them, that means that they're not corrupt and that it's just an issue with viewing them in Mylio, for whether it's because they are not supported or something like that. Lynn's asking, will PDF ever be supported? PDF is supported now. That's good. Good question. John says, not a Mylio question, more of a photography comment, knowing that I'm a Canon shooter and JC shoots Nikon. Actually, he has switched to Sony. I just got a new Canon R7 mirrorless with an 18-150 lens with an adapter so I can use my Canon Rebel 4 lenses. So excited. Congratulations, John. That is a great upgrade. You are going to love being on a mirrorless camera. My R6 has changed the way I shoot. The capabilities of the newer cameras are absolutely phenomenal, and it's just so much fun. Sometimes it feels like cheating, but you know what? Roll with it, enjoy it. Technology is awesome. All right. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Of course, go for it.
Yeah, in some folders, I've seen an individual picture and then a grid of other pictures next to it. Why are some individual and some in a grid?
I think I understand what you're saying. So let me jump here to like an album. And I'm going to go into my portfolio album here. So I've got all of my different albums here. And at the end, there's a little grid at the bottom. Is that kind of what you're seeing?
Well, when I open up a folder, I'll see the grid, but next to it will be an individual photo by itself.
But does it look kind of like what I have going here where you have a little grid? Okay.
Yeah.
So what that is I have individual albums inside of this. And then these particular images down here, they're inside the parent album, but they're not inside any of the other albums. So if I click on this, these are basically loose images that are part of this album, and it would be the same for a folder. So they're just images that are not inside of a subfolder inside of the folder you're looking at. So what you can do is you can just right click on these and you can say move, in this case, it'd be move to album. If you're in folder view, it'd be move to folder, this option here, and you would just move it into the album where it belongs.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Great question. Any other questions today? All right. Well, I want to thank you guys all for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this session and that you got some ideas on how to use QuickCollections and any of your other burning questions answered. I want to wish you all a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Lori, for helping out in the chat, sharing all of those great links. And we will be back on Tuesday for Ask Angela, which is an open live Q&A. And then again next Friday for a coffee break. So we hope to see you then. Until then, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye.